use is found in Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act and functions to limit the exclusive rights of the copyright owner. Federal law states fair use requires no permission from the copyright owner to use the work and is not an infringement of copyright, and provides a number of illustrative examples of potential fair use, including criticism.
What was that? Oh, let's put it in a review. This is the face of a man who has lost his mind, but is still alive. You know, you know how sometimes when they cut the head off of a chicken, the body still jumps around? There's a record for a chicken living with its head cut off for days, maybe weeks or even months. Seriously, they fed the neck. I don't know, but right now I feel like one of those okay, what's the word for not disembodied, but disenbrained? So I got the body without the brain. Anyway, welcome to No Shoe is Live. My name is No Shoe. I'm No Shoe. I'm No Shoe. I'm No Shoe. Come on. See what I mean? It's like the body is still here. The heart is beating. It's pumping blood through the veins and it's reaching my extremities. But there's nothing going on up here. It's awesome, I must say. It's awesome. Believe you me, I have lived the sucker's life. Before I lived the sucker's life, I was in the military. I have 2 honorable discharges. And then I started living the sucker's life. I was a limousine driver. Sucker's life. Except you get to meet people. I was a limousine driver in LA, so I got to meet some people, including Jamie Foxx, who I directed in college at United States International University. But when I picked him up as a limo driver, I treated him like shit in college because I thought he was hitting on my girlfriend at the time, because I was a year ahead of him, and my girlfriend was a dance major. She's in all the musicals and all of that shit. He came in, he was working tech, I think, when he first came in, working some kind of like scrim. He was running this scrim, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that was my other friend, Torsten, or Patrick. Anyway, so my girlfriend and Jamie were working on the same production. I wasn't on that production. I was working on something else called, it was an adaptation of Peter Pan that a fellow student did. It was gay. It was a gay version. And I played John. Anyway, so I heard through the grapevine that Jamie was hitting on my girlfriend. My girlfriend was hot as fuck. I hope she's hearing this now, because I'll never say her name. People who know me know who she is. The sweetest ass that ever existed in the universe. The shape was great. It was firm. Oh! Had a nice accent. I'm not saying where she's from. Anywho, she was working on this theater show. She was part of the chorus, I think, like dancing and singing. And then I think Jamie was part of like technical crew. I think he ran the scrim, which is the little thin curtain inside of the thick, like crushed velvet curtain. That's what I remember anyway. But I heard rumors from the set that he had eyes for her, which made sense because she was gorgeous and had a nice body. She was a dancer, firm, muscular, feminine. That was the 80s, so she had that big ass hair. So, all right, we going down this path. this is not what I had planned. This is not what I had planned, but all right. So, I hear that he's hitting on her. Jamie Foxx is not, he's Eric Bishop, that's his name. Eric Bishop, some dude with gap teeth, fucking Jerry curl and mullet. He had a Jerry curl mullet. And, I digress, but you'll find this funny. I think it was his first year or second year at United States International University in San Diego. I wrote and directed a show we have a small theater on that campus. It was called, shit, I can't remember the name of it. It'll probably come to me now, I'll just blurt it out. I had written and directed and choreographed this show called Is It Love? And it was a tight group of people. It was like a troupe. The show was like different. It was, my mind is not good right now, so I can't tell you what it's called. Almost like, what are those movies where there's different, like an anthology kind of thing, about love. Each love was a different type of love. One was like romantic love, one was self-love, one was love for your country, that kind of, the love for your, oh man, this is gonna go too long. But okay, so I wrote, directed, produced, choreographed this show called Is It Love for this Bimbo Theater on USIU campus. Anyway, it was like this So, I had this core people. They would come in and out and do different forms of love. Like, I'll put these two people together in this one aspect of love. It's a choreographed dance, sometimes had a scene in front of it where there was dialogue. And then I'd go to another scene of love, and it'd be two different actors dancing and singing. Then I'd go to another kind of love, and it could be like the person from the first one, and then the person in the second. I had like 6 people, and they rotated. So we would rehearse in this theater. We rehearsed in the studio, and then we moved to the theater because you got to get used to the stage. This dude, Jamie, I have come to Eric Bishop actually. Because I don't know Jamie Foxx. I don't know. Even though I've seen interviews of him, it's cooler than fuck. I like the way he talks. I would like the way his head, the way he thinks. But I don't know him, so I'm not telling you that. I know Eric Bishop. Before he got into In Living Color, and before, his stand-up, and before Ray and all of that. I respect the guy so much, and mainly because he doesn't sound like a dick when I hear him in interviews. He sounds like a down-to-earth guy who's cooler than shit. So I have a lot of respect for him. But back in college, so I thought he was hitting on my girlfriend. So I sent word through somebody who was in the production that I knew, who was telling me this shit, that if I found out that he was hitting on my girlfriend, I was gonna kick his ass. I was a big man on campus at the time. I was a year ahead of him, maybe 2 years ahead of him. I can't remember. I had already been in shows. I won an award for like some stupid Hasty Heart. Y'all know what I'm talking about, some of y'all. So, I was like a big man on campus. This guy was new. Trying to hit on my girlfriend? What? But anyway, so I was doing this. I'm telling you 2 different stories. They're totally 2 different things. One is when he was hitting on my girlfriend in a show that I had nothing to do with. And then the second one is when I was doing a show that I had produced, directed, choreographed, that kind of thing. He showed up at all the rehearsals. He kept sitting at the rehearsals. And I didn't know who he was. I assumed he was with one of the cast members. And I never said anything. He always sat in the front row. And I was in the back. Anyway. At the end of that show's run, it was like maybe a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The cast gave me a signed poster of that show. The show was called Is It Love? And we made little posters of them. They all signed and said, hey, no shoe this thing. Hey, no shoe that thing. Hey, no shoe this thing. I found it very touching because when you're directing people and you're pushing them, if your ideas are high, your ideas are like you're really trying to reach something, you push people, and sometimes they don't like you for pushing them. But they signed this thing, and it was all nice sentiments. You know, people were so sweet. Then at the bottom, Eric fucking Bishop signed the poster that he had no business signing because nobody knows him. He's not part of the cast. He has nothing to do with this, but he signed it. He said, I'll paraphrase because I don't remember the exact words. I have it somewhere. It says, I don't know anything about acting or dancing, but I had a good time. Eric Bishop, something like that. I'm like, who the fuck gives you the right to sign a poster from the cast to me? This is something I'm supposed to cherish for the rest of my life as a memory. But now I have it as a different kind of memory. This is what I'll tell y'all about the reason the show we were gonna do is about black people. Come to the next one. Come to the one right after this. When you're on YouTube and you're in chronological order, go to the one right after this one, and that'll be the one about black people. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go into that. But it is what it is, as Max Holloway says. And Max Holloway, today is April 4, 2018. Max Holloway is going to beat Khabib in the UFC lightweight championship fight this weekend. Mark my words. Until then, bye!